Right now, somewhere on your property, there are plants you have spent real money trying to remove. You've pulled them by hand, sprayed them, laid cardboard and mulch over them, and every spring, without fail, they come back. What nobody told you, what the seed catalogs and lawn care companies have no interest in telling you, is that some of those plants are more nutritious than anything you deliberately grew, more resilient, more valuable per square foot than your raised beds. Not one of them came from a packet. Not one needed amended soil, irrigation, or any help from you at all. They showed up on their own, and you've been declaring war on them ever since. This is 8 weeds already growing in your yard, what they're actually worth, and why the fact that you've been trying to kill them is one of the more expensive mistakes a gardener can make. Let's start with the one you've almost certainly poisoned this season.
Number 8. Dandelion. Before synthetic herbicides existed, European farmers carried dandelion seeds across an ocean on purpose. They planted it deliberately as a food crop. Today, the average American spends part of their lawn care budget specifically trying to kill it. Here's what they're killing. 100 grams of dandelion greens delivers 558% of your daily vitamin K. More beta-carotene than a carrot. More calcium per calorie than milk. Every single part is edible. The leaves, the flowers, the root. Roasted dandelion root already sells at health food stores for $12 a bag as a liver-supporting herbal remedy and coffee substitute. Your lawn grows it free, and you've been poisoning it. But dandelion, as impressive as it is mostly vitamins. What comes next solves a nutritional gap that most home gardens can never fill on their own.
Number 7. Purslane. Most people pull purslane out of their garden beds and toss it on the compost heap. What they just composted contains more omega-3 fatty acids than any other leafy plant on land, between 300 and 400 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid per 100-gram serving. That is what people spend $20 to $30 a month on fish oil supplements to get. Purslane gives it to you free from the crack in your driveway. Here's what makes it genuinely remarkable. It is a C4 photosynthesis plant, meaning it thrives in exactly the conditions that destroy vegetables. Drought, heat, poor soil, full neglect. While your tomatoes wilt in August and your lettuce bolts into bitterness, purslane is at peak growth. It wants the conditions that stress everything else you're growing. In Turkey and Greece, it is a cultivated delicacy. In your garden, you've been throwing it out. If purslane is the supplement you didn't know you had, the next one is the protein source hiding in plain sight.
Number 6. Lamb's quarters. Pale green leaves, powdery white coating on new growth, growing waist-high in any disturbed soil. You've seen it. You've pulled it. Native American tribes across the continent once harvested both its leaves and seeds intentionally, calling it one of their most reliable crops. Those seeds belong to the same plant family as quinoa. They can be dried, ground into flour, or cooked whole as a grain. One mature plant produces tens of thousands of seeds in a single season. The leaves contain more protein per gram than spinach, along with iron, calcium, and vitamins A and C. Cook them exactly like spinach. They wilt the same way, taste mild and earthy, and are more tender than most cultivated greens. And lamb's quarters self-seed so aggressively that once you have it forever. The spinach you buy from a catalog needs replanting every year. Lamb's quarters replants itself, in your soil, at no cost, indefinitely. But the next plant doesn't just feed you. It does something for your soil that nothing in your raised bed can. Number 5. Clover. Clover is a nitrogen-fixing legume. Its root system hosts bacteria that pull nitrogen directly from the atmosphere and deposit it into your soil. This is the same biological process that makes beans valuable in crop rotation, except clover does it as a perennial across a wider root area without any effort from you. Before synthetic fertilizers, farmers planted clover deliberately to restore depleted fields. Then chemical nitrogen made that unnecessary, and we started treating clover as a nuisance. The edible profile surprises most people. Young leaves are edible raw. The flowers, both red and white, are edible raw or dried. Dried red clover flowers sell for $8 to $15 per ounce at herbal retailers for their isoflavone content. You can harvest them from your lawn. The seeds can be sprouted indoors in winter for fresh greens when nothing outside is growing. Your lawn is already running a nitrogen restoration program and a small herb operation. You've been mowing both into nothing. Number 4. Stinging nettle. This one seems like a punishment. Touch it wrong and your skin burns for an hour. That hostility is the reason most people never get close enough to know what it actually is.
Cooked or dried nettle loses its sting completely. What remains is one of the most nutrient-dense plants you can eat. 100 grams of cooked nettle delivers more iron than beef, more calcium than spinach, and significant levels of vitamins A, C, and K alongside magnesium and potassium. It has been eaten across Europe and Asia for centuries in soups, teas, pasta, and as a dried herb that now sells at premium prices in specialty stores. Nettle grows in the damp corners and disturbed edges of your property, the places you consider dead space. Turns out those spots are the most productive ground you have. Number 3, wood sorrel. It looks like clover with heart-shaped leaves. Most people assume it is clover and ignore it. It is not clover, and what it carries matters. Wood sorrel is a reliable wild source of vitamin C. That's significant because vitamin C is one of the first deficiencies that appears when diets shift towards stored grains and starches. It was the absence of fresh plant material, not starvation, that killed sailors on long ocean voyages. Here's what makes wood sorrel strategically valuable. It grows in partial shade, under trees, along north-facing fence lines, in the shadowed corners where almost nothing else survives. It fills your dead zones. It emerges early in spring and holds on late into fall. Eat it raw, bright, lemony, sharp. Use it anywhere you'd use lemon. Children instinctively eat it because of the sour taste. That instinct isn't random, it's recognition. Number 2, plantain, not the fruit. The broad-leafed weed growing flat in your most compacted, abused ground. Along pathways, in the lawn, wherever the soil has been walked on and given up. Native American tribes called it white man's footprint because it followed European settlers everywhere. It colonizes exactly the ground surrounding human activity. Plantain leaves contain compounds with documented anti-inflammatory properties. They have been used across cultures for wound care and skin irritation for centuries. The young leaves are edible raw, slightly bitter, spinach-like. The seeds, produced in dense spikes rising from the center, are a fiber source eaten and used medicinally in various traditional practices. It grows in the hardest ground on your property, the spots you have given up on entirely. It needs nothing from you, and it keeps coming back. Number 1, chickweed. This one arrives before everything else. In most climates, chickweed starts growing in late winter, February, sometimes earlier, weeks before the last frost, weeks before any cultivated vegetable can safely go outdoors. That timing is not a coincidence. It is the entire competitive advantage. The most dangerous gap in any food system is late winter into early spring, the stretch between what you stored and the first real harvest. Chickweed fills that gap precisely. Dense mats of mild, tender greens with a texture like baby spinach, carrying vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Growing when nothing else will, requiring nothing, producing on its own. One plant produces 800 seeds. Those seeds stay viable in soil for up to 10 years. Once chickweed finds your garden, it is part of your garden permanently, providing fresh greens every late winter on its own schedule for as long as you grow food on that land. The lawn care industry moves hundreds of billions of dollars a year. The seed catalog business, the fertilizer bags, the herbicide sprays, all of it runs on one quiet assumption, that the ground you already own is empty until you buy something to put in it. That assumption is worth a lot of money to someone. There was a time when these plants had names people recognized. When a dandelion wasn't a problem to solve, but a resource to harvest. When purslane showed up on dinner tables, not in trash heaps. That literacy didn't fade because it became useless. It faded because it made certain industries unnecessary. Somewhere this season, a bag of herbicide will get sold to kill exactly what we just walked through. And the person buying it will think they're maintaining their yard. These 8 plants have outlasted ice ages, continent-wide droughts, and decades of chemical targeting. They don't need your permission, your soil prep, or your watering schedule. They were growing here before you arrived, and they'll grow here long after. You've just been calling them the wrong thing. The real question isn't what these plants are worth. You already know that now. The question is what it says about everything else you've been carefully growing. What are you still pulling?